But when you have a situation in which something is not on an agenda and yet something else happens, I mean, is there not any redress from the citizens? I mean, is there no way to redress that situation? Because obviously that's not correct.
And I mean, I'm going to go back to my book. There is actually, I mean, I tell you what, the Press Association, I mean, I order this book every single year.
Yeah.
And I read it usually once a year, cover to cover, just to refresh my recollection about what it is. But the beautiful thing about this book is it really does provide very good guidance. And it talks about, I mean, there are some cases, obviously, that have been decided by the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court that have to do with things that weren't specifically on the agenda. And so I would encourage you, if you really want to, pursue things that are happening with regard to things that aren't on the agenda, get one of these books, look at the case law. And, I'm always a fan and an advocate of going to the district and then to the district's attorneys first and trying to get something worked out with them and say, look, I have reviewed this book or this case or this, and this is what this says. And this is why I'm concerned about what happened. And then, of course, at the end of the day, if that is unsuccessful, you always have the ability to file a lawsuit against the public body.
Yes. And there's a frustration for us there because then the citizens are the ones, because Michael is actually did bring in action against the Edmond Public Schools and he did win. And Michael, how much did you guys spend on that lawsuit?
$52,000.
Yeah, it's an expensive venture. You theoretically, though, if you prevail, you should get costs and attorney's fees back, right?
No, there was no damages in the case.
Citizens are already paying taxes, and those taxes go to pay for the attorney for the school or for the town. So the citizens are already paying taxes that pay those attorneys. And then we have to go and raise $52,000 to fight the attorneys that are already getting paid with our tax dollars.
There are a number of mechanisms in state statute which give people the ability, and I understand the initial financial outlay, but there are what are called Qui Tam statutes. They're in Title 62. I dealt with a couple of these when I was in Broken Arrow, but it's basically where someone can bring a lawsuit in the name of the king or on behalf of the public. Now, that is mainly going to be pertaining to like a contract, to an illegal contract.
Okay.
So if the city or town enters into an illegal contract or the school district, then you have to file a demand with that entity and request that the contract be terminated and, explain why. Maybe it was a violation of the Open Meeting Act. Maybe you didn't have sufficient funds appropriated for that purpose, although, things like that. And if the district or the public body declines to take action, then you would have the ability to bring a Qui Tam action